News Talk ZB.
23 minutes away from 8. We'll do the sport after 8, the Monday morning commentary box, of course. But meantime, the Prime Minister is with us. Good to see you.
Come into your studio to have our regular conversation with you.
Yes, no worries. I've got, it's always a thrill to have you here. Have you got a letter
To all the listeners, he just said that with so much insincerity.
Have you got a letter from Trump yet on the what looks to be an increasing number over 10% on tariffs?
No, we haven't. I mean, actually, I think we're in good position. I think we've managed it as well as can be expected.
Okay.
There's no doubt about it. The whole situation's caused a lot of chaos in the global economy because it's created a lot of uncertainty, and that's never good for business and for economics. But having said that, our 10%'s, we're no worse off than any other country. It's the lowest rate we can get. And more importantly, Mike, I spend quite a lot of time with our exporters into the US, whether it's been Zespri on kiwi fruit, the red meat guys. We do a little bit of dairy there. We do a lot of wine in there, and they're actually going really great.
Okay. The reason I ask is he said the letters to the small countries will go out any day now, and it's above 10. If it's above 10, do we do anything about it or just suck it up?
We want to make sure we're no worse off than any other country as our starting point. And when we've spoken with their trade commissioner, the trade secretary over there, Todd McClay's had really good dialogue with him. And the view has been they've got other bigger fish to fry. And for us, we don't like tariffs. Yes, we don't think it's good for the global economy, as evidenced by what we've seen since April, May around the world. But actually, for us, we're navigating it pretty well.
Okay, so you've cut into the public service, and yet I read Rangatamariki is spending $2 million a year plus on communication staff. How's this possible?
Yeah, funny you say that. Someone raised that with me again
yesterday. It's not funny I say that at all.
No. What I mean is there's an awful lot of comms people in the government service, and we've been trying to get rid of the back office, make sure you put the resources in the front line. We've done that job, I think, not perfectly, but actually there's been a lot of that's happened. You think about the $23 billion last year, the $21 billion this year of redeployment of resources to the front line. But
why don't you just sack them?
Well, I mean, we're putting the pressure back on CEOs to say, you've got these goals to deliver for us as a government. How you organise your resources is up to you, but we're going to hold you accountable for delivering those results. So as of March,
they've employed 2 media advisors, they've got 2 communications advisors, they've got 2 senior media advisors, 6 senior communications advisors, a chief media advisor and a manager of organisational communications. Do you know what any of that means?
No, I don't. And that sounds like a complete and utter not where we want those resources
But you're in charge of it. And this is Rangatamariki who couldn't get out of their own way if their life depended on it.
And I hear you. It's a classic of what we don't want seeing happen.
No, that is true. I also read, while I'm on holiday, more than half of your $257 million loan book for the Provincial Growth Fund is at risk of impairment or default. Are you worried about that?
Well, again, I mean, we've got, obviously, Shane Jones has got a $1.2 billion regional infrastructure fund. There's some really good examples where those investments are making a difference to those regional communities. There are some that are challenged, for sure, but, we take it on a case-by-case basis.
But was that just free lolly handed out under a different administration to anyone who had their hand out, and all of a sudden we look at the case and we go, oh, whoops, they might default?
Well, I think I can't talk to the past. What I can talk to about is the deal that we have now, which is to make sure we're doing largely capital investment, which is what's important, where those organisations or businesses need actually some capital injection. That's what Shane's been focused on with this version of the regional infrastructure fund.
The fact that 54% though look risky doesn't bother you?
Well, it's obviously a concern, but we expect him to be making sure that actually those businesses are actually getting on top of it and not just and actually building better businesses as a result of that capital injection. I
also read while I'm on holiday that LNG, remember the promise you made on LNG, I think it was Simeon Brown made on LNG, that when we had the crisis last year on power that would get some LNG into the country. So at last we've got the report on that. Turns out to be too expensive. Did he talk a little bit quicker than he might have?
Well, I mean, the thing on electricity is that the biggest thing we've done is actually get a stratetic coal reserve in there at the back of the
I get all that, but you said LNG was an answer. It turns out it isn't.
Yeah, well, it's something we're still considering, still exploring.
Are you?
Yeah, no, because actually in terms of continuity, if push comes to shove and we've actually not been able to deliver the electricity in the way that we want to have all avenues open as possible. But you're right, gas is, LNG importation is actually probably the more expensive form, and that's why it comes back to coal. And rather uniquely, this is a country that's decided to make the transition from domestic gas to imported coal, which is insane.
Precisely.
Because we killed oil and gas.
NCEA, are you actually going, this report that got made public yesterday, are you going to do anything about it?
Yeah, we are.
You are? When?
In the next few months. wants.
Are you going to blow it up, or are you going to
everything's on the table, because genuinely there's nothing more important than getting our kids well educated. I speak to a lot of parents, teachers, principals. They have really serious concerns about NCA. And the danger is you can go through an exercise where you're reassured that you're getting well educated because you're getting getting through the NCA system. But the thing for me and for the parents and teachers that I run into is, are our kids at 15, 16 as well educated as their counterparts in Australia or Canada or Ireland or somewhere else we went to? We can't. That's got to be globally comparable. And secondarily, are we actually teaching them the basics and giving them a core educational program that actually sets them up well for working life? And, Mike, there is a heap of high-paying jobs out there in the world, and the biggest thing that will impact the New Zealand economy is actually our ability for our talent through education to be able to access those high-paying jobs. How are we going to build a 4-lane freeway from Auckland to Whangarei if we don't actually have kids who can do maths and some reading? And we've got some real challenges there.
Okay, we do. So it will be announced this year?
Yes.
Will it be changed next year? Or years into the future? It'll
be, I'll let, in fairness, Erica's saying, look, there's a real problem, and I fully agree. Her and I've talked about this even in opposition. We've worked our way through initially around the primary and intermediate age with structured literacy, structured mathematics, all that stuff. Now we want to take on the NCA and the secondary school piece. And so where everything's on the table because we want a high quality qualification.
But is it profound, the change that's coming?
Could well be. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm not limiting that conversation, Mike, because actually it is really important that when we lift this lid up and we say it's not working and it's not what delivering for us, we've got to be able to be prepared to look at everything. Back to first principles.
Is John Key right? The interest rates are 100 basis points too high?
Well, he as a former Prime Minister can go out there and comment as he wishes. I sadly, as current Prime Minister, can't because, as you know, the independence of the Reserve Bank. All I can do is control the bit that I can control, which is the fiscal side of things. The Reserve Bank controls the monetary policy. But that means making sure the spending's appropriate, that we're doing everything we can to get inflation down so the conditions are right for interest rates.
But here's your problem. If they're right today and it's 2.9, that's close enough to 3 in the band to be a problem. The RB will come back. Already did a week ago, and they'll probably do it next month and go, yeah, no, broadly speaking, things are okay. It's in the band. We're not doing anything. Meantime, the rest of New Zealand's screaming at you, because you're the boss, going, the economy's not right. Well, now I need something better. It becomes your problem whether it is your fault or not.
And I'm working really hard in the 18 months to try and fix an economy that's been through 3 years of a recession.
Yeah, but the bits you can't fix, though. I mean, if your insurance is up 20% and your council's up 19%, there's nothing you can do about that apart from jawbone it, which you have been doing, but it doesn't to what effect?
Yeah, but I think what I can do is I can make sure that government spending isn't contributing to rising domestic inflation, right? There'll be imported bits. Personally, we want to see inflation will bounce around. There's no doubt about it. It's got to be within the 1 to 3% band. It can't be at 7.5% where it was under Labor. And as a result, us pulling inflation down has actually led to 2.25 basis points coming out of the interest rates. And just to give you a feel for it, I think there's something like $50 billion worth of mortgage money that's about to cycle through in the next 3 to 4 months.
But I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is, my mortgage is down, praise the Lord, but hang on, there's my insurance bill and there's my rates bill.
I agree.
I'm no better off.
Yeah, well, I think that the challenges are for New Zealanders right now still doing it tough is that you've had 3 years of really high levels of inflation and prices are high. The good news is wages are increasing faster than inflation under our government, which is a good thing. We want to continue to expand.
Well, not if inflation's at 2.9%, it won't be.
Well, but so far that's been the case. It hasn't been the case in the previous period of time under the previous government. But you're right. I mean, people are still dealing tough with rates, which is a challenge. That's why we want to talk about rates caps ultimately. We've got to be able to talk about food prices. As you know, Nicola's doing some good work on supermarkets.
No, she's not. No, you're getting me upset now because she's off to Fonterra this week to meet who? Miles. And what's she going to talk to Miles about?
No,
she's going to talk about the price of butter. I can tell you why the price of butter is the price of butter, and I don't know why we have a finance minister who doesn't know how butter's. We get the international price for butter. We should celebrate this.
Correct. So let me just be clear. First of all, Fonterra requested the meeting. That's how it goes.
What are they going to do?
Well, she'll talk to them about also a supermarket review because she wants to talk to major suppliers around what's going on there. She's also acknowledged, that the reality is dairy prices are determined globally. As you know, the benefit of farming at the moment on fire and doing really well is because we've actually got a high global dairy price, and that's what we end up driving some of our dairy prices.
Can I give you some advice for Nicola? And I've tried to give it to her, and she doesn't want it. Here's the the thing. You got to stop talking about it. If you want to fix the banks, fix them. Do something. If you want to fix the supermarkets, do it. Stop talking about it. Stop having meetings. Do it.
Yeah. I just say to you, I know what's happening behind the scenes on supermarkets.
Please do tell.
And I'll tell you when we're ready to tell you. But the bottom line is I'd say she's working incredibly hard. And
I'm sure she's working hard, but until you see the results. So are you going to do something profound with the supermarkets?
In the next few months, she'll come out and talk about what we're going to do there.
So you've already decided what you're going to do?
No, there's the ongoing work that she's doing, and it's not ready for us to come forward with just yet. And I don't want to get ahead of her on that work. But I'm just saying to you, I think it's I know what she's doing behind the scenes, and she's exhausting all options to make sure we get more competition in that supermarket sector.
I took too long for a holiday. I took 2 weeks off.
I noticed you weren't here last week when I came by.
It was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think holidays are overrated. And I think for those
says the man that when do you shut up shop here? Like in November 1?
No,
and you come back March the 1st.
I came back in
and
January.
then you give me grief about the parliamentary cycle.
I came back in January, and I'm sticking here.
You weren't here in January. It was February, wasn't it?
It was barely February. It was barely February. But I think people who enjoy their work shouldn't take holidays. As a general rule, have you thought about this as a policy? If you like your work, you don't take a holiday.
Well, I've got to be honest, every time I take a couple of days off, I get sick. So it's sort of, I come back to the same conclusion, which is we shouldn't have had a holiday.
Didn't you find on your holiday last week that was plenty?
5 days? Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah,
that's enough.
I can manage with that. I got a lot on my plate that I want to do.
Damn straight. We've just covered some of it now.
Yeah, you give me a work list every week.
Exactly. Well, go get on with it. Nice to see you. 12 minutes away from 8.